because the woman is no longer standing at the door. She's already got her foot in the door. She's opening the door. Whether you're opening it or not, doesn't matter. She's opening it. So therefore, how are we going to work with her? How are we going to partner with her? How are we going to build the skills? But before all of that, Chetna, I turn to you. How do women lead differently? Is there a difference?
Global forum like Unnati, what they can bring the value is that value at a global level of these wise women, yes, who would come on the global forum and who will change the terms of trade, who will change the negotiations, who will change the way investors look into it, who will make them understand that if you really are thinking about the, whatever, all those fancy words of climate change, fancy words of all the social entrepreneurship, whatever, they will make it more grassroots and wise. And again, I would say that they will say that everything is fine, everything will come, but the patience and the wiseness of the community, and as Prema mentioned, that they are the power of peers, right? That's what the very powerful statement, that your peer gives you power. If you have that, you can do a lot of changes.
As grassroots women, we don't just wake up in the morning and stand to say we want to be elected as leaders. No. We start with going through difficult situations. We go through difficult situations of disease, difficult situations of disaster, and we learn organizing with each other in our small groups. We federate these groups, and from this, we are able to develop courage that can be able to help us to speak to each other. The power and the courage of grassroots women working together begins with the one grassroots woman speaking to the other grassroots woman and sharing and understanding the issue they are going through.
What we have seen in our own experience with supporting NGOs in sort of the women's leadership space, it's actually come from where we've supported Mandeshi, where they have that rural business school, or we've supported sort of SSP with building out their Saki program. And then we've also supported the Hunger Project, which is how do you build women's capacity to represent in the panchayat? And so there's a role for capacity building, as in how do we actually help women, not just with entrepreneurial skills, but also with how do they represent themselves. And some of that comes from the peers, but some of it also comes from a self-realization, but it also comes with helping them navigate through the existing environment. So I feel also the support that NGOs do to capacity be building these women and therefore building these platforms, I think cuts across. And just to end with, we will not solve the Sustainable Development Goals without solving problems in India. If we move the needle in India on pretty much any of these goals, we will move the needle globally.
Women participating in the labor force. I see a global trend where there are more women being moved into both the formal sector and into the labor force. If I look, for example, at China, China is at 63%. In Sweden, we are doing 89%, but maybe we are on the sort of extreme end of this. But India stands out because it has a declining percentage of women in the workforce. So India used to be at 42% in 1990, and 2018 it is down at 25%. And that is an untapped resource. Your GDP could increase with 60% if you were to just change that movement. Globally, since you were at the World Economic Forum, the GDP of the world could increase with 26%. So we're talking about the well-being, lifting people out of poverty globally if we were to make sure that India's indicators change.
हमें एक नई कहानियाँ लिखनी है, जैसे गोदावरी ताई की कहानी है, या आप में से so many of you who are here, जो भी सखियाँ हैं, हर एक की बहुत ही सुंदर कहानी होगी. ये कहानियाँ हमें स्कूल में लेके जानी है. जब बच्चियाँ चौथी क्लास में, 5वीं क्लास में, तब से उनको सोचना चाहिए कि मेरा फ्यूचर क्या हो सकता है, मेरे आगे क्या क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं. So from a very young age, I think in schools we have to introduce these stories. क्योंकि अभी हम सिर्फ historical figures के बारे में पढ़ते हैं, जिन्होंने 200 साल पहले कुछ किया, 500 साल, 1000 साल, you know, we read historical stories. But आज की जो problems के बारे में हमें जो जिससे जूझना है, वो stories हम मतलब उसे हम लाना चाहते हैं. शायद मेरा इसमें एक छोटा सा रोल है, मैं अपने ढंग से कर रही हूँ. बाकी टुडे वी हैव इंटरनेट, वी हैव यूट्यूब, वी हैव सो मेनी फैसिलिटीज़. सो आई थिंक वीडियो स्टोरीज, ऑडियो स्टोरीज, तो जो भी आपकी स्टोरीज हैं, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट प्रेमा जी टू प्लीज़ ट्राई टू रिकॉर्ड देम, शेयर देम ऑनलाइन इन योर लोकल लैंग्वेज. आपकी जो मराठी, कन्नड़ा, जो भी मतलब लोकल भाषा है, उसको डब भी कर सकते हैं.
Thank you very much. And I just want to close, remind us of Chetna's words when she said, "My courage is my capital." Thank you very, very much. Thank you.